Manassas, the first great battle of the Civil War, had been fought 4 years earlier on land owned by the McLean family. Now, the war would end on land owned by the same family. The surrender terms allowed that once Confederate troops had stacked their arms and folded their flags as part of a surrender parade, they would be allowed to return home, there to remain undisturbed according to the paroles issued to them. Officers would be permitted to keep their sidearms, and provisions were immediately provided to the hungry, surrendering soldiers. The front parlor of the McLean house has today been furnished much as it had been at the time of the surrender. And while most of the furnishings are recreations, a few items, such as the 2 vases on the mantelpiece, did witness that historic day in 1865. This table and chair are reproductions of the ones used by General Lee on that day. But this horsehair couch was present in the room, and it was used by the officers for all of the surrender proceedings. No one really knows today just how the other rooms of the McLean house might have been furnished. Other than the parlor and the main hallway, the soldiers did not make use of the remaining rooms of the house. In fact, the McLean family remained in their home throughout the surrender proceedings. And so the furnishings provided by the Park Service are approximations of what types of furniture, based on the time period and the economic status of the McLeans, might have been present. The main road through Appomattox Courthouse, which was once known as Clover Hill, is the Richmond-Lynchburg Stage Road. It was along the road on this spot that Grant and Lee met for a second time. Here they discussed the possibility of allowing Confederate soldiers who owned their own horses to be allowed to keep them. And it was along the same road where the surrender parade took place. It was here during that parade that Major General Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain ordered his troops to shoulder arms in a salute to their surrendering enemy. And it was here where Confederate General John B. Gordon ordered his Confederate troops to return that same salute. The village of Appomattox Courthouse was named for this building, the Appomattox Courthouse. It burned in the latter part of the 19th century, but has been rebuilt by the Park Service, and now serves as the park's visitor center. It houses a museum and offers 2 different multimedia presentations each hour. The original name of Appomattox Courthouse was Clover Hill, and its first building was the stage stop known as the Clover Hill Tavern. Through the windows of the Clover Hill Tavern, one can see the kitchen. The Pierce House stands along the Richmond-Lynchburg Stage Road. During the surrender proceedings, the Pierce family hosted General Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain here for dinner. For many years it was believed that here on the front lawn of the Pierce House, the final artillery shots of the Confederacy were fired. Today, historians believe that to be largely inaccurate. Today, Appomattox Courthouse is a charming village, and even for those not interested in Civil War history, it provides a nice day of recreation. Buildings still on site include the store, a jailhouse, a number of family homes and workshops. The previously mentioned jailhouse is always a favorite of visiting children, but it should be noted that the jail was still under construction at the time of the surrender, and so it has no historical connection to the Civil War. Throughout the week in the summer, and on weekends other times of the year, the park offers living history reenactments. The Jones Law Office is a location one would not want to miss. An attorney named Jones used the office, but he didn't live there, so it's really set up to be a farrier's shop. It is nothing less than awe-inspiring to think that such a tiny, unassuming village as Appomattox Courthouse could have been the place where the Army of Northern Virginia finally laid down its arms. Then again, there is an irony that such a small, peaceful little hamlet would be the place that would see the beginnings of peace for a war-torn nation.